The Oculus is a virtual reality headset that once it is switched on and placed upon your head, you can enter into an almost mesmerizing imaginary world. The word oculus, according to Virtue's English Dictionary, is from a Latin word ocularis, a name for the human eye. The lens of a camera functions as the same way as an eye, for the eye is an organ of the human body that constantly adjusts the amount of light it lets in and focuses on an object near and far, and it produces continuous images that are quickly relayed to the brain. The eyeball is protected by a layer of hairs called the eyelash to guard it from any foreign object from entering in. Some animals also have eyelashes to protect them, but animals' eyes differ from humans. Most creatures, whether they are aquatic creatures in the water, amphibians who live both on land and in the water, or mollusks like snails, have eyes to visualize the world. Sometimes humans and animals can have similar color eyes, but there are clear differences. Cats have a superior ability to see in the dark because of the high number of rods in their retina that are sensitive to dim light. As a result, cats can see roughly 1/6 the amount of light that humans need. The eagle has the strongest pair of eyes in the animal kingdom. They are roughly the same size as a human, but 4 to 8 times stronger, and like other birds, they have 3 eyelids. The housefly has a pair of large complex eyes that covers most of its head, that is made up of 3,000 to 6,000 visual receptors called omnatidia, each functioning like an individual eye or lens that can detect the slightest movements covering a broad field. The chameleon has probably the most unique pair of eyes. This reptile has rotating eyes that can move upwards, downwards, forwards, backwards with a 360-degree range of vision. They can see ultraviolet light where each eye can move independently of the other. The human eye, like all the creatures mentioned, comes in pairs, but they are on the front of our face, where most other creatures' eyes are on the side. They have been labeled as the window to the soul, for our eyes express our pain and our anger, and they usually show what is really going on inside of our hearts. And if you want to know if someone is paying attention to you when you are talking, then look in their eyes, for it will show you if they are either shy or just very shady. Some eyes differ, for among East Asians, they are distinct for having what is known as the epicanthus eye fold, a peculiar look to that region of the world. But as the eye is a unique feature of the body, the 21st century has seen the introduction of iris recognition that is being used as a part of biometric identification to keep a record of each human being on Earth on a digital database. But in man's daily search for the origins of life, he is discovering things that are interfering with his deep-rooted conditioned worldview. And the more he studies the intricacy of the human eye, he is observing that it is impossible to be a product of natural selection, and that something more was involved in its intricate makeup, its different layers, and the way it gracefully rotates to carefully examine the shapes and colors of an object. And because they come in different colors, each having its own unique identity, its scientific biological function is used as a spiritual object lesson by one who knew the eye better than anyone. He said that the light of the body is the eye, scientific. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light, spiritual. Jesus showed us that as the eye is an organ that constantly adjusts the amount of light it lets in, as in the physical, the same in the spiritual. What you constantly watch is what eventually you will become. We shall find out more in his up-and-coming study titled DNA.